Managing expectations in facilitation. Now there's the easy stuff, like when the meeting starts, what are the rules that we're all going to stick to? What's the agenda? What's the purpose? What's the timings? All right. These simple logistical steps are incredibly important because they manage expectations. They set the scene for everybody. They know what's expected of them. They know when the coffee break is. They know when they're going to get out. And they know why they're there. Right? And this can be done very, very quickly. But I found that that's not the most powerful way that we manage expectations as facilitators. Hi, my name's John McFadyen. I'm a certified Scrum trainer with Scrum Alliance. I'm the managing partner at Agile Center, and I've been in the Agile and Scrum community for over 20 years now. For me, in facilitation, what's really interesting is managing the expectations as the conversation flows. I found I did this more readily as I went into coach training a decade or so ago, and I learned about this concept called contracting. Now, in coaching, contracting is simply understanding what's the point of this conversation? Why are we having this conversation now? Digging into it to really get down to that kernel at the core. It's not this surface level thing. It's the whys. Taiichi Ohno's 5 whys. Don't just ask 5 whys. You sound like a petulant child. But exploring the space with your coachee to understand why they're here, why this coaching conversation, why today. And then as you go through the conversation, and they're exploring their options and things, sometimes the focus drifts. And that's okay. In coaching, you recontract. Do we want to talk about what we started with, or do we want to talk about this new thing? How do we use the time? What's the best use? And this is what I've found to be incredibly powerful as a facilitator. I have absolutely had meetings that have gone off track. And it's when you explore why. Why have this group of people gone over there? We're not here to have that conversation. We're here to have this conversation. Okay. My old way of facilitating was very much to drag them and talk about the thing, whatever the thing was that we were there to talk about. As I started blending my coaching approaches into facilitation, though, what I found was I would ask them, okay, we came here to talk about topic A. Topic B seems to be of growing interest. Is now the right time to talk about that? Is it more important than A? What do you want to explore? And I let them recontract the meeting. Okay? And what I'm going to do when they do that is go back through a very similar contracting cycle of, well, what is it about this? Why is it important? Why now? What makes it more important than that? And if, as a group, they come up with topic B is more important, awesome, off we go. Because it's more important, it's where we should be focused. It's the right conversation. We can work out topic A later because it's no longer the most important thing. What I found is that using more of a coaching stance, even in facilitation, helps people explore it. It also sets the expectation because there is nothing wrong with saying, we only have 10 minutes left of this meeting. Do we have time to unpack this? Is that the right use of your time? Because ultimately, that's what we're spending. That's what we have to remember. The one thing nobody can get back, time. So when we're managing expectations, we are trying to get people to be working on the thing that they turned up to talk about, but only as long as that is the most important thing for this group of people to be talking about. Okay? For me, managing expectations is the logistics at the start. Yes, absolutely. But it's also helping people understand what the best use of their time is as they explore the space. We work in incredibly complex domains that are constantly shifting and changing. And as we break things down and uncover new bits, our wants, our needs, our expectations change. And as a facilitator, what we need to do is, like a coach, dance in the moment. is find a way to make sure everybody understands this is what the conversation is about now, even if it wasn't what we started with. This is the time remaining. Is it an appropriate use of the time? Or do we finish that and schedule another meeting? What I found by bringing this into my facilitation is that those really difficult conversations, those difficult calls where things have shifted in the meeting as people's understanding has evolved and morphed, are more fruitful, are more valuable. Right? People come away from those meetings energized because they discovered something. They found something more important, more worthwhile. Does it lead to more meetings? Invariably. And I can't say I'm a fan of more meetings in my life, but they're worthwhile meetings. Right? People are going to come to them knowing what's expected of them, knowing that that can change as the conversation and the ideas shift and change. And they're okay with that because you, as a facilitator, created a space where they were clear on what mattered. They were clear on their part to play. And ultimately, they came out with an outcome that moved them forwards.